Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be going over how to attain eternal happiness, right? So I know everybody wants to have happiness in their lives. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to experience happiness, right? We might try to find happiness, within other people, friends, family, recreational activities, clubbing, drinking, sex, all these different things that we experience on the outside world. But when it comes to attaining happiness, when it comes to experiencing that joy and that bliss that we all want, because we all want to be happy. I know you watching this video right now, you want to, you might be going through depression. You might have, all these different things, all these different circumstances and problems rising up in your life. And I know everybody wants to experience that eternal bliss and that eternal happiness. But when it comes to happiness, right, that eternal, internal happiness, that's the true definition of happiness. That happiness and that joy that you have within yourself. You can't find happiness outside of yourself. You can't find happiness within the outside world. You can't find happiness from other people. You can't find happiness from drinking. You can't find happiness from watching TV, watching Netflix, or, worshiping your favorite idols and things of that nature. You can't attain happiness that way. At least not the true happiness. Right? The true happiness lies within yourself. That eternal, internal happiness. All right? So not only am I going to be going over, what is the true definition of happiness, but also how you can attain that everlasting, true happiness that you always wanted. All right? So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get started. So first off, let's go over what is happiness. What exactly is happiness? Okay? So happiness is an overall state of being, all right? Your true being, your true nature, that is happiness, all right? That your true being is happiness. Your true overall sense of self-worth is happiness, okay? The measure of the moral worth of a person is their happiness. The better the person, the more happiness, all right? So, what you feel on a day-to-day basis, your self-worth. You should be worthy. Everybody is worthy of being happy. Everybody is worthy and has that self-worth to be happy in their lives. All right? But the question is, what are you willing to do to attain that happiness? Because you can't just, sit around and do nothing and expect to be happy in your life. Expect for, happy people to come into your life, success, positivity, having that relationship with God, all these different things. You can't experience these things and attain these things by not putting in the work, because action is required for everything, because we live on this material plane, and this material plane requires action in order to attain what you desire, which is happiness. All right? So what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do? What actions are you willing to take in order to attain that true happiness? These are some of the questions that you need to be asking. All right? So that is happiness. The measurement of the moral worth of a man or a woman is their happiness. And that's what we all want, right? So, what is the ultimate goal for attaining eternal happiness? So the ultimate goal is spiritual attainment and complete oneness with the universal consciousness, right? So when you become one with the universal consciousness, when your mind unites with the universal mind, that's when that happiness starts to kick into high drive, right? Because our minds are connected to the universe. Our minds are connected to the ultimate source, the creator, whatever you want to call it. right? Because our minds are that powerful. God is in your mind. God is everywhere, of course, but God is also in the mind, and God is also in your heart, right? So when you do the necessary things, when you do the necessary work to unite yourself with the universal consciousness, when you unite yourself with God, right, then that's when you start to have that eternal bliss. That's when you start to have that peace. That's when you start to have that peaceful mind, and you're able to take a step back and to analyze and to figure out what you need to do in order to fulfill your purpose. Figure out what your purpose is. Do the necessary things to take care of yourself. Doing all these different things, doing all these necessary things in order to achieve that everlasting happiness and the everlasting peace. Okay? So this connects the material man / woman with the spiritual man / woman, because the mind possesses both material and spiritual qualities. Okay? The mind possesses both the material and spiritual qualities. Okay? So think of it as the left brain and the right brain, right? So the left brain deals with things such as logic, reasoning, analyzing things, the five senses. So we utilize the materialistic side of our mind to maneuver through this world, to maneuver through this material plane, okay? And then we also have the spiritual qualities of our mind, which is the right brain. And that includes intuition, that includes creativity, that includes, spirituality, all these different qualities and all these different characteristics within the right side of the brain. So that's when that balance comes in. That's when that equilibrium comes into play, right? So when you unite your mind with the universal consciousness, once you start to, develop more of your right brain, if you utilize more of your logical side of the brain, and you're also utilizing the spiritual side of your mind, then that's when that balance comes in, right? So that's when the materialistic man or woman unites with the spiritual man / woman. Okay? So when you think about, what it takes to attain that happiness, always remember to, it all comes down to what your internal state is, what your internal being is. All right, always working on your internal state of being, always working on your internal state of mind. Okay, so that's when the material man / woman unites with his spiritual counterpart. Okay, so now here we go. How can one attain eternal happiness? All right, so there are 4 parts to this. How can one attain eternal happiness? So number 1, everybody is capable of attaining happiness, but are you willing to take action to attain that happiness? So I was talking about this a little bit earlier in the video. Are you willing to take that action to attain that happiness? Some of us, we might say, I just want to be happy in life. I just want to have peace in my life. I just want to feel blissful. I just want to, strive in this world, become successful in this world. I just want to be happy overall. We say these type of things to ourselves, but are we willing to take the necessary action? Are we willing to sacrifice our binge eating, our binge watching Netflix shows? Are we willing to, step outside our comfort zone, stop being lazy? Are we willing to do these certain things in order to attain that happiness that we always want? Right? So are you willing to take that action? Because I hope so, right? We all said that we want that happiness, but we're not willing to, dig into the mud. We're not willing to sacrifice. We're not willing to do what it takes to attain that blissful eternal happiness that is our birthright. Okay? So are you willing to take that action? So number 2, the great search for light, love, and in life only begins on the material plane. So we live within this material plane. We exist within this material plane. It all starts in the material plane. It all starts on this third dimensional realm. Okay? So every action that we take, every decision that we make, we all have to keep this in mind. We all have to remember, what is our purpose on this planet? What is our purpose on this earth? Okay, what are your goals in life? This is a proving ground. This is think of it as a proving ground. This earth is a big school. Think of it as a school, this big earth school. All right. So we're here to, learn lessons and to learn from our mistakes and to become better human beings overall. We're here to evolve ourselves. We're here to evolve our spirits. We're here to evolve spiritually. Okay. So it's all about evolution. It's all about growth and progress and success. Okay. So this material realm, this material world, this material plane is a proving ground for yourself. So what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice on this earth? All right. So utilize this time to grow physically, to grow spiritually, to grow mentally. All right. Do the necessary things in order to improve yourself, to improve your overall state of being, to improve your health. Start working out. Start eating healthy. Start eating right. Do meditation, yoga, going out in nature, grounding. Do whatever it takes to evolve yourself spiritually, physically, and mentally. Do some things to challenge yourself, challenge your mind, challenge your body. Always, do new things, improving yourself, be creative, right? So everything starts in the material plane because we all exist and we all maneuver and we all walk throughout this material plane. So number 3, one must acquire knowledge so that he/she can think, reason, and create. Knowledge creates desire for the beautiful. Now, there's this quote by Frederick Douglass that I love. It goes by, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave, right? So you hear, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book, right? Because most of us, we don't even read nowadays. But once you start attaining that knowledge, once you start, going into this rabbit hole of discovering who you are, discovering who you truly are, open up your mind to endless possibilities and endless knowledge that you can attain. You start to understand yourself better. You start to understand yourself more. You start to understand how the world works, the lies that have been, the information that has been hidden from us, all the lies that we have been told. You're able to discover yourself. You're able to rediscover yourself. Your soul starts to awaken. You start to get that spark in your mind, and you start to, go down this rabbit hole of knowledge. You are addicted to the truth. You are addicted to knowledge, and knowledge is able to open you up to endless possibilities. You start going down that rabbit hole, right? So knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. So you start to understand yourself more. You start to understand the world in a better light, and you start to become more connected to the universe. You understand more about the universe and why everything was created, why we are here, what's our purpose in this grand mission that we are all in, and things of that nature. So you start to ascend consciously, right? Because there's so much information that we don't know, so much information they try to hide from us, because they want to keep us enslaved. They want to keep us like sheep. They want to keep us like animals, staying distracted within social media, within, Netflix, like I said in the beginning, eating, paying bills, going to our jobs, focusing on our family and kids and things of that nature, being in this rat race of life. And They don't want us to know the truth. They don't want us to know our true identity, all right, as gods and goddesses. They don't want us to know this type of stuff, because if we were to find out about a lot of these things that are being exposed right now, we wouldn't rely so much on them. We wouldn't rely so much on the government. We wouldn't rely so much on external realities and external people and external things outside of ourselves. So once we were able to attain that knowledge, we start to grow and evolve, spiritually and mentally. Our minds start to expand, and our perception on life starts to change, drastically. Okay, so attaining that knowledge is able to help us think, reason, and create. We're able to become creative, right? We are able to, do things, live in our passions. We're able to start teaching. If you have an interest in teaching, or playing music, or whatever the case may be, whatever your passion and whatever your gifts are, right? So knowledge is very powerful, but knowledge in itself is not powerful, but the execution of knowledge is powerful. The application of knowledge is powerful. You see what I'm saying? And lastly, number 4, the aspirant for higher knowledge will then have a better understanding of themselves, the world, and the universe as a whole, which will lead to everlasting love, peace, and happiness, right? So once we are, we never stop learning, right? No matter how old we get, we never stop learning something new, whether that be from life experience, whether it be from books, whether it be from other people that we encounter, that we talk to. We never stop learning. We never stop growing. But once we are able to fall in love with learning, once we're able to fall in love with ourselves, we start to have that peace, that internal happiness, that internal awakening. All right, that's food for the soul. That's food for the awakening. That's food for the mental. Okay, so once we're able to keep acquiring that knowledge, right? Once we're able to, show that love to ourselves, once we're able to, shed light on many different things that we encounter, that we experience, once we're able to show love to our neighbor, once we're able to, expand our minds, right? We start to have that love for ourselves, for other people, for the world, and for the universe as a whole. All right, we start to attain that cosmic bliss, that cosmic energy, that cosmic love. All right, so once you're able to attain that cosmic love, nothing in this outside world can affect you. All right, but we're human at the end of the day, so we go through that roller coaster ride of emotions sometimes. But that enlightened being, that centered being, nothing external, nothing from other people can really affect your internal state. Nothing external can influence you internally, right? So once we're able to acquire that knowledge and, feed more information and feed more love into ourselves, we're able to love ourselves more, understand ourselves more, understand the world around us, and understand the universe as a whole. So we have finally escaped the matrix. We have finally escaped the illusions of the world, the illusions of happiness, and we're able to see the world for what it is and attain that eternal happiness and that eternal bliss. Okay? So this is how to attain eternal happiness. Okay? So I hope you find this video very informative, very interesting, very intriguing. I want everybody to have happiness in their lives. We get so stuck and we get so caught up in this world, get so caught up in this matrix, that we just forget to, show love to ourselves. Okay, we always forget to, appreciate the little things in life. Once we're able to have happiness, once we're able to have that internal state of happiness, then we don't get so we don't get so caught up in, in our indulgences, in our, our the negativities that happen in life. We don't get caught up in those things. So once you're able to internalize and to, have a grasp on your own reality, that you're not so reliant on seeing your reality change. You're not so reliant on seeing, everything change and everything start to, unfold upon you, because it's going to happen. It's going to come eventually. We'll never know when it happens. If you're trying to materialize something or achieve something in life, it's going to come, because we are filled with abundance. Abundance is our birthright, and abundance exists within us. But it's only on God's timing. It's only on the universe's timing. So we'll never know when that day will come, but we know it will come. So we're not so fixated and so attached to seeing our reality change, because we know it's going to happen eventually. We know it's going to happen, but it's just a matter of the universal timing. All right. So I hope you find this video interesting, gaining some more knowledge and some more improvisation on this video. And I hope you attain that eternal happiness that you always wanted. All right. So till next time, and always remember, all power resides from within, and always keep the faith, because God and the universe is always working for you. Take care, guys. God bless.